All right, Counterpunch Boxing. What's up, YouTube? Okay, look, man, I got a direct response video that I want to make to Ego's boxing video. All right, look, man, dude just put out a video last night. And, I've come to expect, the biased, one-sided reporting or picking, one thing out that someone says and blowing it up really big. But what I heard last night, and actually I watched it last night, and I just woke up today and felt like completely obligated to just make a response video because, it was just such bullshit. So hopefully, Ego, you're out there listening, and I would hope that you listen to everything I have to say because I think it's important and I think it'll do you some good, to be honest with you. Okay, so he goes on, just ripping Kathy Duva, saying, she can't sign up for something and then complain about it later. Basically, she's complaining about the judges, right? She's saying that, she feels that the judges, like the American judges, favor the American fighter in the original fight, which, she has every right to feel that way, and I'll prove it here in a minute. But here's the part that he's leaving out. Okay, Andre Ward, so let me back up. He's saying that, you can't sign up for something and then complain about it later, but yet Andre Ward agreed to the original contract, and in that original contract, there's a common security clause, a rematch clause. Everything is outlined and detailed and in that contract. So yet Andre Ward signed up for that, but then created a whole new complete contract. Basically they just started from scratch. Okay, he created a whole new contract for a rematch, although he agreed to the original contract. So it's okay for Andre Ward to sign up for shit and complain about it later, but apparently it's not okay for Kathy Duva to, legitimately be concerned about the biased judging that went on that night, and I'll get into that in a minute because that's what it was. So, it's just telling you one part of the story, okay? It's propaganda is what it is. So, look, let's look at the scorecard real quick. I don't even know where to start here. There's just I could just like shred this video apart. There's just so much to go with here. Okay, I would like for him to explain to his audience how all three judges gave Andre Ward every single round from round 7 through 12. Okay, you had John McHale right there, Burt Clemens, and Glenn Trowbridge. Okay, look here. Okay, round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all Andre Ward. Okay, Clemens, round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, he's the only judge that gave Kovalev one round in round 12. Okay, John McHale here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did they even like watch the fight? Did they just check every box like after the 6th round and like start playing on their iPhone? Like, I don't understand it. Like, and look, you can go back and watch round 10, and Kovalev clearly dominated and won round 10, but yet all three judges gave it to Andre Ward. Okay, so that's when you look at things like this, and we look and we know, okay, we know that in boxing history, robberies and biased judging is just a part of it, okay? We all know this. You can go back in history, right? Look at Pacquiao Bradley, okay? Clearly a robbery, terrible judging. Roy Jones in the Olympics, they favored or they showed favoritism over his opponent, robbery, okay? Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Strum, a prime example of American judges, favoring the American fighter. It just goes on and on. Lennox Lewis Holyfield, and then Lewis avenged his loss 8 months later. Herrera twice actually, Garcia and Lamont Peterson, Pernell Whitaker and Chavez. It just goes on and on and on. So I could give you example after example after example of judges, favoring the American fighter, okay? But yet, according to Ego, there's nothing to worry about, people move along, nothing to see here, just Kathy Duva complaining, right? It's just bullshit, biased reporting. It's like, he fails to mention that Andre Ward, didn't, agree to his original contract. And here's what he did, okay? What he did was he said, "Oh yeah, we got the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF on the line. Oh yeah, I agree to everything in this. Let's get it done. Let's sign it." Okay, and then and when it comes time to for the rematch to take place, he says, no, we're going to do it my way. I'm the A side. I'm this, I want. Now, I think the only thing that he did not change was the actual split, but everything else was changed. And now, Kathy Duva she contacted Andre Ward and his promotion company and said, hey, let's go to the athletic commission, and, let's try to get international judges. And Andre Ward told her no. He just said, hell no, we're not doing that. I want American judges. Now, to me, that's worthy of making a video. I mean, why is he so concerned about having nothing but American judges? So, it's just like I said, it's just like this one-sided argument that he's making here, and he's leaving out the other half of the story. That you got Burt Clemens, Glenn Trowbridge, and John McKay all scoring for Andre Ward. The second they gave the dude every single round in the second half. I mean, that's alarming. I mean, all the robberies that I just mentioned, at least they tried to hide it. I mean, you go look at the scorecards, and it's like at least they tried to hide that shit. I mean, this is like a blatant, biased judging. It's crazy. It's just xenophobic bullshit. But, these channels out there, they'll tell you there's nothing to see here. It's just, hopefully you guys have, some snap to you and you understand what I'm trying to tell you here. So, and look, here's the thing. Usually when you call out these channels like this, they want to start talking about how big their numbers are and, oh, well, I must be doing something right, blah, 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 and look at your channel. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. The three channels that I was affiliated with before this was twice as big as yours. Okay, number one. Number two, I'm a new channel. I've been doing this 2 or 3 months, and I'm already taking off. Why? Because, it's fair, honest reporting. And I think, look, as a journalist, you have an obligation, man. You got an obligation to report things in a fair way. You have a big following, but although I kind of put that following into question because, I know a lot of these guys out here bias subscribers, and actually I just found out a way to tell if these other channels are doing this. So, I just might have to do that, but because, yeah, this is what these guys do. They buy subs, got like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 subs in their videos, they're getting 10, 20,000 views. I mean, the numbers don't add up, so, but yeah, and as far as, I read in your comment section, bragging about the money and this, and I say this, man, enjoy your money, enjoy your check while you got it, because, I mean, you're quickly losing subs. I mean, every time I go to your channel, people are leaving, including myself. Now, you might want to block me, which hopefully you won't. I mean, hopefully you can be a man about this and listen what I have to say, and if you block me, I don't care. I got like 4 other accounts, but hopefully you won't. I mean, I'm trying to be, respectful here and give you my side of the argument. Like I said, Andre Ward, he demanded a whole new contract be made and didn't, basically he did exactly what you're accusing Kathy Duva of, but 10 times worse. Okay, and then to insinuate, that she has nothing to worry about with the judges is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like I said, I just named like 10 fights that, you can see it's clearly biased judging. And here's a direct question I have. This is directly to Ego. Okay, in a championship fight, who typically gets the swing rounds? Who typically gets the close rounds? Who? The champion. So why is it that, I've heard you say time and time again, the second half was close, right, as you put it. So why is it the champion didn't get any close rounds? Because all 3 judges, round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all 3 judges gave Andre Ward every fucking round. So, I mean, shouldn't that like raise a red flag? I mean, how, and like I said, the champion is typically awarded a swing round, a close round, but in this situation, Andre Ward was given every single just inch that he could be given, he was given. So, look, even the original fight, Kovalev, he's known as the Road Warrior. He went to Canada. He's traveled all over promoting this fight. And apparently, Andre Ward, what did he do? Sent out like 3 or 4 tweets, did 3 or 4 interviews. Didn't do shit leading up to the fight. So basically, in just under 40 minutes, this dude is now the WBO, WBA, and the IBF champion. Goes back on his word. And now they're trying to make it like. And then you got Virgil Hunter up there, calling him an alcoholic and shit like that. I mean, Kovalev doesn't even drink, but yet you put out a video, thinking it's funny that this man is like, smearing his name as like defamation of character. I mean, that's just good and fun, So it's just like I said, it's this double standard. It's this favoritism, biased reporting, and I'm just tired of it. So look, every time you guys put out a video, I'm gonna make a response video and tell people the truth, because I mean, what you're doing, it's not truthful. Look, last night, I just put out a video last night criticizing Gennady Golovkin, okay? A fighter he's one of my favorites, there's no secret about that, but when it comes time to criticize, I criticize, right? I mean, where's your video criticizing Andre Ward? Where is any, I mean, I could watch your last 10 videos and there's not one negative thing you've said about Andre Ward. I mean, this is no different than, back in the day when you guys, just held Mayweather on this pedestal, and now it's Andre Ward, and I understand, look, I get it, you're trying to cater to your audience, and you can't really tell the truth because then the audience or the following that you have will bail out on you. I mean, I get the narrative and the agenda behind it, but at the end of the day, you're cashing in your integrity and this responsibility you have as a boxing reporter, because it's a great privilege and responsibility to be a boxing journalist at your level, okay? So when you put out these bullshit videos like this, I mean, you just lose so much credibility, man. I mean, your stock goes down. It's a shame. It really is, because I think you're talented, and I think you could make it to the next level. But this will, I mean, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot here. I mean, every video I watch is so biased and just completely unfair. But this one did it for me. I was like, man, I've got to respond to it. I just have to, because like I said, I mean, you kept repeating, Kathy Duva can't sign up for something and then complain about it later. But Andre Ward, he can sign the original contract and then complain about it later and get a whole new contract created. So it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it really doesn't. And then you guys put out videos, talking about Gennady Golovkin ducking Andre Ward, basically saying that if Andre Ward, moves back down to 168 and Golovkin doesn't move up, he's ducking him. But now Golovkin said he's moving to 168 in the future. Andre Ward says, oh, hell no, I'm not going down there, and that's not a duck. I mean, you see, it's like both guys are saying the exact same thing, but you'll only report that Gennady Golovkin is ducking Andre Ward. Okay, and then, to go around and say, well, hey, I mean, Andre Ward, had the fight done in 4 months. What's the big deal? What's the big deal is they had a rematch clause that he should have honored, okay? Look, they had a rematch clause. He should have honored it, and he didn't. And it wasn't 4 months, okay? The fight was like, November 19th, okay? So like mid-November. So you got November, December, January, February, March. Now we're into April. That's like 6 months. That's like half a fucking year, okay? So to say, Andre, what's everybody bitching about? He got the, he got it done, in 4 months. No, it's not 4, it's 6. And it should have been like within 30 days, because they already had the contract was done. Everything was done. All Andre Ward had to do was sign it and honor what he originally agreed to. And let me end on this. Okay, Kathy Duva, as a contractor, which I am, I'm a reporter and a contractor. Kathy Duva had 2 options. She could either take Andre Ward to court for breach of contract, or she could give in to every demand out there that he did. I mean, all his diva demands to get him in the ring, because he did breach his contract. He basically agreed to a rematch and all the terms to a rematch, and then said no. I mean, this is like the same shit he did with Goosen. Okay, I mean, you had 3 judges rule against Andre Ward. He sabotaged his own career. He had 5 fights in 5 years, and then look, I don't want to get into his whole resume, but explain this to me. I mean, how does a guy that has 5 fights going into the Alexander Brand fight, and then fighting Alexander Brand, a guy that the New York Athletic State Commission wanted to ban? They said basically they would not support the fight because it was such a mismatch. And then Andre Ward goes 12 rounds with this dude, 12 rounds with Alexander Brand. Okay, and I repeat, the New York State Athletic Commission wanted to stop the fight because it was such a mismatch. Okay, then he jumps into the Kovalev fight, wins a highly controversial decision, but yet he's pound for pound #1. He's the greatest thing ever. 5 fights in 5 years. He did great. I mean, you go back to what, Super 6, against Froch. Okay, I'll give him that. All right, but everyone else, look at leading up to the Kovalev fight. I mean, he brought 2 guys up from 168 to light heavy, and one of them, I mean, was basically a plumber. I mean, Alexander Brand, dude shouldn't even have been there. Andre Ward goes 12 rounds with this guy. Like, Kovalev would have annihilated this guy. Okay, so when you just look at all the evidence, everything I've just mentioned to you, there's no report of that. There's no talking about that. There's no video about that. But the minute, Kathy Duva makes one comment, one legitimate comment about judging, you put out an 18-minute video with 7 damn commercial breaks, calling her out on it. So it's wrong, man. And look, I could just keep going on and on and on, but like I said, what you're doing is a disservice to boxing media. And if you were any kind of a journalist, you would correct this shit immediately.